All right, so we made it here to Amadeo, and I'm gonna have him go through everything we had to buy. Obviously, besides the press, he already had that. But if you guys wanted to know everything that goes into it, as far as besides buying the press, what you would need to load your own ammo, he's gonna guide you through all that. So,
Right, so we are working with 6.5 PRC. The first thing we did is we got some match grade dies, which has that really nice micrometer for the bullet seating, which is very important when you're trying to get really precise measurements. We bought a Leaf Factory crimp die separately. Then we also are going to upgrade the seating stem. This is specifically made for the ELDX, so we get a perfect bullet seating. And then of course a case gauge to inspect our work. And then we're going to be using Hornady load data. We are going to be using the H1000 for our propellant. Really hard to find, but Phil was lucky enough to get a couple pounds.
yeah, that was pretty hard to track down.
And then the recipe is going to be right around 56 grains.
Okay.
And there you have it. I like to do, let's write that recipe card. We're going to write 2 because one's going to go in there, and then I'll keep one. Here's my vape.
Now, when you write your recipe cards, I remember you telling me that you don't go just by one manufacturer's, right? You like look at them all and kind of figure out what's going on.
So it's always good to have multiple reloading manuals. I even go as far as getting very, very specific with certain powders, you know, including books on specifically 223. And the advantage of that is you get, you know, sometimes powders get relabeled or they go off market, and it's always really good to compare data across the board, and, you know, working from that angle. Every single manual has their own advantages. Like the Lee has the most recipes in there. It also gives you pressure data, which the Hornady doesn't. I like to use the Hornady data when we're using Hornady projectiles like we are today, using the 147 grain ELDX. And the Lyman one is good because they show you which powder worked the best for that particular grain weight and caliber. The other advantage of the Lyman, it provides a burn rate chart in the back.
Nice.
2.955. 2.955. Feet per second is going to be right around 2925, and then we'll confirm everything on the chronograph. And what I did is I bumped it up an extra 5 thousandths, and that is what we call kissing the lands. So the bullet pushes out just a tiny bit into the barrel so it gets a perfect spin coming out. And there you have it. There's our recipe card. And there it is. That's the original seating stem. Alright, I want to take this ELD. To make things perfect. There we go. We're not going to need that just yet. Get our crimp die. Hey, I still got primers in there. Okay. It's going to be for a large rifle. Making shit happen, bro.
You usually do.
Station. Another awesome feature about this press is that it works really, it's very functional and it comes on and off really easy. Alright, so we're going to get 50 primers ready into the tube. You know what? I'm going to change my mind and we're going to use really high-end primers. I'm going to use Magnum. I'm going to make that adjustment on the card. It's a large rifle primer Magnum. And that is the CCI number 250. Okay. It looks like there's 50 in there, and the way to do this is just dump that in there. Okay, they're all facing that way. Put this on, flip it upside down, and I'm going to put these into our tube.
Nice.
That's our little meter. All right, now we prime. We're going to prime your brass. I like to break down the process because if you're priming while loading, it's just an extra stage, and you know, it gets a little clunky when you're priming everything, so the less amount of work you can do, the better result you're going to get in the end. So instead of speeding things up, we're going to slow it down to get better results. We took a look at our casings. They look really, really good. And let's just talk about that quality here. Here, let's take the face gauge. Okay, a couple things we're looking for is we're looking at the mouth to make sure they're not like bent or warped or screwed up. Okay. The other thing I'm checking is that flash hole. Okay. That's how the powder gets ignited, through that little flash hole. The primer sits in there, and we want to make sure these are all centered, which we inspected and they look really good. And the other thing is to make sure they gauge properly. And as you can see, they're perfect. Alright, now we can actually probably put these through here. It looks like it's already set up for it. Will it fit? Wow, it doesn't fit! Holy shit! I'm gonna have to do these by hand.
Yeah, those are a little fat.
A big bullet. Let's make this easier and get this little guy here.
Yeah, these things are pretty fat.
Here. Alright, so we're priming. That's what that primer tube is. Gets primed on that station. The first station is actually just a little neck tension right now. And then these are all raised up, so they don't really matter. But what we're doing now is just priming and neck tension. Priming and neck tension. Okay. Okay, 50. We're not going to need the priming station anymore.
You know what's funny? I'm having deja vu of when we built the 308. And I was standing here and I'm like looking at the projectiles and I'm like, yo, you think I'm really going to hit that 1,000 yards? And you're like, you said yeah, but I don't think you thought I would do it. Smells so good, right?
It's the sticks. They look like little pellets. But yes, that smell is amazing. Nitroglycerin, bro. It goes boom! Fucking blow shit up.
Alright, so what are we doing now?
Alright, so we got everything dialed in. We're going to be loading 6.5 PRC with the H1000 all by hand, one by one. So we're looking for 56 grain powder charge. There we have 56 grains. Okay, we primed our brass already with some CCI large rifle magnum primers. Okay. And now we're going to load them up. We're basically assembling very slowly, very detailed. We got some 147 grain Hornady ELD match. And the goal is to hit 1,800 yards. That's our goal. So we're going to check our cartridge overall length before we taper it, making sure everything is consistent and perfect. .955, 2.955. It is perfect. We're going to go ahead and do a light taper. And now it's complete.
Nice.
We're gonna go for that mile.
That's a beautiful round. Alright, well, I'm gonna help him out with this. It's just gonna be that duplicated 50 times. So I'm gonna set the camera up and I guess you guys can watch it in fast motion. So. Alright, so we just finished getting all 50 of the Peterson rounds put together. That's all we're going to do for today. So yeah.
Alright, so what we did today is we loaded 50 beautiful match grade 6.5 PRC with the 147 grain ELD match. That's our recipe card using the H1000. And we're going to wait for these to be shot, and then we will reload them and fire form them to your rifle.
Nice. And this is what we're going to use to try to go for the full mile.
Yeah, 1,800 yards.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
And I guess if we can't find a location, which we probably will find one, if not, we're going to try to do something crazy at 1,000.
Like a golf ball.
A golf ball at 1,000 or something like that. But we're going to put this to the test. Very excited about this. Anyway, bro, thank you very much for helping me out with this, because I wouldn't be able to do this myself. So, yeah, I'm excited for it. Subscribe, I guess, if you want to see if this works or not. Anyways, later, guys.